Hello, I'm Erwin Haas. I'm here to show you how to carve a bird from the inside. It is actually much more efficient and quicker at the time of serving. This is a 5-pound chicken. It's not very large. You have to understand a little bit about the anatomy of the bird. Um, the legs and the attached spine are basically the dark meat, and the wings back here um, are attached to all of the white meat. And that's all really that the chicken consists of. It walks and it tries to fly. Now I don't, I open the bird up using just ordinary scissors, but I only do it about halfway because there's reason to leave some of the backbone around. It's critical there to sever the backbone, which is cutting across here, because ultimately you can pull the dark meat right away from the white meat, because the dark meat is back here and you just pull it away, then all the rest of it in there is the white meat. Anyway, so now we've opened the bird up. The spine is still there. What's very critical is that you separate the wing mechanism from the rest of the breastbone here. And you go to the breastbone is this thing in here. It's kind of a triangular shaped thing. It's kind of purplish in color. And you go to the very upper end of it, and there's a notch there. And if you go out from the notch to the side, and each side you'll find a kind of a white membrane or a white stringy type thing. And what you got to do is cut that. And once you got that, then really reach in there and grab the wing and push it to the side so that you break the joint that joins the wing mechanism to the breastbone. You do that on the other side, find the notch, cut the little white string over here, then really pull down the old shoulder, try to get it out of there, and then divide that so that the wing is clear of the breastbone. You now have ribs on the inside, and I like to remove the ribs because I think they're just they just get in the way. And the reason why I keep the most of the spine in here is that I can just push this over on the one side at least and cut the spine away from the breast, which is kind of takes a moment or two to do it. And I'm going to put this into the stew pot. There's still some meat there. You then have some other ribs in here that you may want to remove because they just get in the way when you try to carve it at the other end. And it's easiest to do it when you're here. And these ribs are just nutritionally worthless. They're just nothing but membrane, really. And so you get beneath them and cut away, nickel dime away, and eventually these things do separate out. Find any residual ribs, just get them out of there. On the other side, you're going to have to cut two different areas because that's where the back set are not attached to the spine anymore. And so you're just going to have to find where the edges of it is and carve it out of there. suppose if you're horribly fussy, you would probably try to cook this with, but it's just not worth it. So now the bird is ready to cook. I'm going to salt it on the back side and on the front side. Bake it at 425 for probably an hour and 10 minutes. Let it rest for 15 minutes, and then I'll show you how to carve it. I'll see you around the bend. So this is our spatchcock chicken. We've opened it up. We cut the connections between the breastbone and the wings out here, as well as across the spine. And what's back here is the dark meat. What's up front there is the white meat. It's attached to the wings. So the easiest way to start is just to pull off the two legs. They come right away. This is not high tech. Cut the thigh apart from the drumstick. There it is. Over there. And this is the basically the pelvic bone. In a larger bird, it would be worthwhile to cut that away from the drumstick, but this one is just simply too small. But it would be very worthwhile doing in a turkey, because that is actually an extra piece of dark meat. And pull off the other leg over here. Find the place where it starts to move. And cut right through that. And we got ourselves a drumstick and a thing. Now, in order to cut the breast off, you flip it upside down. Take away the ribs that remain, and there are almost always these two other ribs out here. Kind of hard to get at in the bird the way it is. And over here, the same. Eventually, I'll be able to cut these away anyway. It's not that big a deal. The way you do this is to take the breastbone here. It's the hard part. It's triangular shaped. Put your knife alongside it and all the way through to the other end. Then cut downward along the breastbone all the way through here. Cut this away to some extent. And then to cut along on the other side, exactly the same way, go through to the other side. This, by the way, is not a special knife. This is something that my mother bought in 1940. And it broke, and I filed it down and still use it. Okay. Now you just lift your breastbone out. This basically goes into the I'll put this into the soup pot, but it's and these are junk, so that goes into the soup pot over there. Now you're looking at the breasts. You simply take and you can cut these into chunks this way, and I guess I'll do that. Some people will throw the skin away, but I like the skin. And then I'll cut these away. Cut the wings away from the rest of the shoulder, the rest of the white meat. And on the other side. And you got 2 pieces of white meat. These will have some bones in them, but it's perfectly acceptable. And at the end of the day, what you've got is a chicken that looks like this, and it's fairly easy to cook and to cut up, and it's ready to serve. Thank you very much for listening to this, and do give me a thumbs up if you can.